Welcome to this week's preview of Rare Book Cafe, the book lovers' rendezvous, where the topics are priceless and the conversation is free. Join us tomorrow, Saturday, October 30th at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern, or 5:30 Greenwich Mean Time, if that's how you figure your time. We're the only weekly internet program devoted entirely to rare and collectible books and the people who love them, and that's you. And be sure to leave us a comment, suggestions, complaints, if you have any, or just tell us where you're watching us from. I'm your host, Lee Lynn of the Ridge Books in Calhoun, Georgia. And we're so happy to have our regular host, Ed Markowitz, and I must be the irregular host, back from his travels around the Mediterranean. And we'll be looking forward to hearing more about his travels in the weeks to come, starting next week. So welcome home, Ed. We're so delighted to have you back.
Great. I just got into Portland yesterday, and Alan already got me on the hook for the promo today.
That's right. We have been eagerly awaiting your return. We have.
Oh, I've been very fortunate. What a fortunate life I lead. It was just a tremendous trip. Greece, Italy, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, Hungary. And I've got a few more posts coming. I think I sent a couple in for previous shows.
You did send some.
But I've been delinquent for the last 4 or 5. I admit it.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll get you caught up. Did you spend any time in Transylvania? Did you see any vampires? Now that it's Halloween coming up.
Didn't get that far east.
Didn't get that far.
I turned north instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a sense for what. There were castles in Bosnia and Serbia that gave me a sense for what the setting would be like over there in Romania. Didn't make it to Romania.
Well, that's really neat, and we'll look forward to that. We've been busy. We have managed to stay on program, fairly well, And this coming up this
weekend. You mean
the
FCC didn't take away our license?
The FCC did not take away our license, or if they did, Alan didn't tell me about it.
Okay.
He's keeping that undercover real well, I think. And this week, we are joined by Larry Rakow from Wonderland Books in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. And Larry's going to he's been talking about collecting children's books. He's going to be talking some this week about collecting things on the margins of book collecting, ephemera, buttons, posters, artwork, things like this that go along with the collecting. These are stamps of the snowy day, and he's going to be joined by Richard Morey. Richard has a lot of children's books too, and he collects a lot of Boy Scout material, and a good bit of that falls in this category of marginalia, sort of. So they'll be talking about those together. We also will have our regular segment from David Hess on things found in old books. And I understand that he has a picture today that was found in a program of an opera about Rembrandt. And you can see at the bottom of the picture, they're holding up reproductions of the artist's self-portraits.
Yep.
Seem to be a lot of them. So that's one of the things that he'll be sharing with us this week. And his are always interesting. And we hope that when you find things in old books, you will send them along to to David, so that he can share them with us. And Richard Morey and I will also show you some of our recent acquisitions. He's been doing a lot of shopping on the road lately, and I've been doing a lot of shopping online lately. But we have new things that we want to show you. And last week was my book club, and so we had our regular report on the book club. And this month's books was Nomadland, which was recently made into an Oscar-winning motion picture. And it recounts a lifestyle of mostly retired people who, due to the loss of jobs and homes and investments, find themselves going from job to job on the road, living in campers or trucks or cars or whatever. And one of our members has a friend who has lived something of this lifestyle. though she had not participated in a lot of these rallies and things that the people in the book or in the movie do. But she did have some insights on that lifestyle from a friend of hers. And so that was one reason we discussed it. But it was a good conversation. And as usual, we had a table full of food. And we've also been posting pictures of the book club so that our viewers can see just who we're talking about. So we did all of that this week.
Excellent. Well, that was a great novel and a great movie, and it sounds like it would have been a fun meeting to attend. I love it when you do more contemporary books.
Well, we are reading now for our December. We're not meeting in January because it's Thanksgiving weekend, but we're having our Christmas party on December the 9th, and part of our Christmas party is to get to see my enormous Dickens Village display. We're going to share some of that by video. And then we're reading Mignon's Ballard books that we had Mignon on about last spring. No Word for Goodbye, about the Cherokees. So we'll be discussing that in December. But in January, we are reading the book by Jane Goodall. I can't remember the entire title, but Hope is in it. Mm-hmm. And that's contemporary. That's a new
good.
That's a new title that's out. So we'll be reading that in January.
You mentioned that Larry's going to be on the show this week, and I saw an email just a couple of days ago that Larry's been accepted by the IOBA, the Independent Online Booksellers Association, as a member. And one of these days on our shows, we ought to tell our listeners a little bit about ABAA and IOBA and ABA, and
right,
what all those different certifications and associations mean.
Right, and all of the state ones as well, because so many of the states have their own antiquarian booksellers associations.
Yep.
We do here in Georgia, Florida does, New England, Rocky Mountains, there's so many. So
did you hear that, Alan? Get the show, get that one on the schedule.
And we're still planning to do our series on bookstores in our homes. I know that you had worked on some video of yours, and
Did I
and
not
I'm
send
going
that
to
in?
do some. You did send it in, but we haven't used it yet.
Okay.
But we will.
Well, we'll get an inventory. We got to have 3 or 4 of them lined up so that we can start bringing in more.
Yeah, we can do ours. So anyway, be sure to join us on Facebook, on YouTube, on the podcast, Rare Book Cafe Raw, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And join us on Saturday, and we hope to hear from you then. So bye for now.
All right. Good to be back, Lee.
Good to have you back.
Keep smiling.